Did you know that the more beautiful you are, the more likely you're likely to develop depression? So men, take note of that. Welcome to Mental Health and Science with Rabbi Enoch Francis. They want to look at why women are more likely to get depression than what? Than men. So when you look at studies, they tell us that women get depression twice more than what? Than men. The first thing what we have to know is that there is what we call hormonal differences. So women have more sex hormones than men. They have progesterone, they have that what we call estrogen. So these hormones play an important role during pregnancy, during menstrual cycle. So for someone to get a mental problem, there's what we call hormonal imbalances, or we have to call chemical imbalances. So remember, these are the hormones. They play an important part in controlling behavior in our bodies. Okay, so these hormones, they regulate what we call neurotransmitters. Neurotransmitters are chemicals which are found in a nervous system that are responsible for transferring the messages maybe from the brain and to other parts of the body. So differences in hormonal changes can affect either overproduction of the neurotransmitters or reduction in the neurotransmitter. So in most cases, for example, if someone is preparing for pregnancy or to conceive, you find that these hormones are produced in high quantities. So that means there are a lot of neurotransmitters in the body. So when someone again also is has conceived, those hormones like progesterone are there to maintain that pregnancy, that someone does not someone does not get miscarriage. Okay, so less production of these hormones after childbirth. There is also reduction in the amount of neurotransmitters that are produced. So this one increases the risk of women getting what? Depression. Number two, genetic vulnerability. Studies have shown that women have their genes make them more vulnerable to developing depression than what? Than men. Okay. Then number three is the brain structure. There is a center in the brain which controls our emotions. There is a one which controls the emotional response or stress response and rewarding system. So in the medical language, you call it the limbic system. Okay. So some studies have shown that some laboratory tests, the MRI, have shown that during the stress response, there is increased brain activity in the brain structure of the women compared to the brain structure of what? Of women. That's why you find that more women get depression than what? Than men. If you are still new to this channel, I request you to subscribe because it motivates me to do videos of this nature. And thank you so much for watching my videos. Then another one is very interesting, is that the coping styles. When it comes to coping styles, women are more likely to engage in what we call rumination. Okay, we could call it ruminants. Have you heard about ruminants? A ruminant is an animal which chews cud. For example, you see a cow, when after eating, it comes back home, it starts again digesting that food. You find it trying to bring back that food and trying to what? To again chew it very well. Okay, so what are we trying to say is that women are more likely to engage in rumination in terms of coping styles, in that women take more time to think about the negative feelings, the bad thoughts when they go back they go back home, compared to what? To men. Men are likely to find solutions to the problems. Okay, so you find that the women will keep their emotions, will keep on thinking about the bad feelings, and they keep them to themselves. So this one increases the risk of them developing what? Depression, especially the chronic episodes of what? Of depression. Then also this one is very, very interesting. There's what we call perfectionism and self-criticism. Okay, in our societies, the society puts so much pressure on a woman to appear like too much pressure in terms of appearance, in terms of relationship, in terms of career. Okay, so if you're a beautiful woman, or if you're a woman outside there, they expect the woman to be very beautiful. They expect the woman to be dressing nicely. Okay, so all these pressures now comparing yourself to other people. So these pressures can make you to start criticizing yourself. You start looking at yourself, you know, I have not plaited a nice hair. Someone else has plaited more nice hair than me. So these societal pressures, they put a woman at a high risk of developing what? Depression compared to what? Compared to men. Okay? So the beautiful ladies outside there, please, if you have these pressures which are coming from social media, you are comparing to yourself to people on social media, you want to look more nice, more beautiful, those are some of the factors that may cause you to develop depression, because you may be lacking money. You may not be meeting the standards of that person. You don't know where that person gets the money to take care of herself. Every month she's changing. She's plaiting hair of 1 million, 2 million. Then also you want to meet that standard. So that one can cause you to go into depression or to overthink, over worry, and that one exposes you to what? Or puts you at the risk of developing what? Depression. Then also, under that also we have another point is what we have calling internalizing internalizing emotions. That women, they keep emotions to themselves. Like when for example someone is annoyed, they always keep those emotions to themselves. They don't express them out. Okay, like for example in a relationship, you may find a woman, maybe you annoyed her sometimes, she has kept that thing in her heart for some good time. Okay, maybe sometime when she gains confidence, you can find her opening the book of the things, that the wrong things you have done for her. Last time you talked that you talked this and it hurt me, then this time you told me this time you told me this. So women are likely, they keep their emotion to themselves. Okay, they don't express them to someone else. For example, when you are annoyed, you can go to someone and tell them that you have annoyed me because you did this and this to me. Okay, but for the women, I mean for the men, they are able to express their emotions outside there. They can be aggressive, they can be they can express. You find someone kicking the table, you find someone doing something. So that is how men, it makes them at a very low risk of what? Of having depression. Then another point is gender roles and discrimination. You know, in a society, there are things that women are supposed to do, and there are things that men are supposed to do. So you find that on the desk of a woman, she's supposed to take care of the family, she's supposed to go and work, do all the housework, cooking, take care of the children, take them to school, care for the husband. Okay, all those things are piled on the what? On the lady. Okay, then also in our society we have what we call gender inequality. There is how women are mistreated in our societies. There are things that they are not supposed to do. So all these things make a woman to look like inferior, and of which some of them can make them to be at a high risk of developing what? Of depression. So there is a lot of discrimination in the society. There are certain jobs that they say if a woman is coming maybe to look for money, maybe has children to take care of, maybe say is a single parent, or the husband is not getting a well good paid job, you find they say, here we don't need women. We need only what? We need only men. Okay? So that one, those society inequalities, they put women at a very high risk of what? Of developing depression. Workplaces, okay? You find that women also are likely to experience more stress at work. Okay, because some people can be stepping on them. Okay, this is a woman, I can tell her whatever she do. So they pile a lot of workload on the woman. So this one increases stress, and the more stress if you don't manage your stress, it can also lead someone to getting what? Depression. Then also we are talking about trauma and abuse. that women or a girl child is likely to suffer trauma or abuse. Okay? This can be a childhood experience. For example, we can have children who are sexually abused or they are defiled by their relatives. We have heard stories of where women are abused by their relatives, their parents, some of them. So these childhood experiences, bad experiences, they can make this person to be at high risk of developing depression in the future. Okay, for example, if a child has been going through that kind of trauma, someone has sexually abused that child, it affects their brain, their way of thinking, and later in the future you may find that this person's brain is not able to cope up with the stress that they are experiencing. And also we're having a lot of issues in marriages. You find a man is mistreating the woman, is beating the woman each and every day. We find a man has gone to drink, he comes back home and says, I want food, I want to eat. So there's a lot of domestic violence where women are exposed to. So this domestic violence or gender-based violence affects more women than what? Than men. So this one puts them at a high risk of developing depression than what? Than men. Then also we have also what we are calling socio-economic stress. You may find that women, majority of the women or women out there, they may be experiencing what we call poverty, and some of these people can develop they have not so much gone to school, like they have dropped out of school. Maybe it can be because of pregnancy or early marriages. They have forced them to go and marry. So this lack of education, it puts a woman at a very high risk of what? Of developing what? Developing depression. Why? Because if someone is not educated, now she's now looking, where am I going to get money? I have not finished studies. Who can give me a job? Because they need papers. So all those things are on the brain, are on the head of the woman. Okay? So this increases or predisposes this woman to developing depression compared to what? To a man. So since they are in this kind of stress, there is also what we call chronic stress. Chronic stress is that stress whereby, for example, you have lost someone, or like someone is separated maybe in the marriage. So the problem is there. So you have to learn the coping skills of how you can what? Overcome it. So all this chronic stress exposes woman to depression compared to what? A man. If you are still new to this channel, I request you to subscribe because it motivates me to make more videos. And thank you so much for watching my videos. Let us continue promoting mental health together. Life events specific to women. We are talking about things which are common in the women, which are not found in what? In men. For example, pregnancy, menstrual cycle. Okay? We have already first talked about the pregnancy, how it affects that. During pregnancy, there is also some hormones which are produced in large quantities to maintain pregnancy. But after childbirth, these hormones have to drop in the body. And when they drop in the body, we told you that these hormones help in the regulation of our emotions. They help in the regulation of behavior. So when they drop suddenly, even there are certain chemicals which are found in our bodies which are responsible for controlling our behavior. So when a sudden, for example, a sudden drop in some of this can make someone to have what? Depression. How? Like these hormones can make us to regulate our mood to be happy, not to be sad. But when there is low production, like because due to the sudden drop in the hormones, you find that you'll experience what we are talking about. You'll experience what? Depression. For example, serotonin. People who have depression, there is a neurotransmitter we call serotonin. It is always produced in low amounts. That's why you find that this person is always sad, has lost interest in the things that they used to like. So if you want now to raise back that mood, we give what we call antidepressants. So this antidepressant will raise this serotonin or these neurotransmitters back to the normal levels where they are supposed to be. Then you can find this person again smiling, having interest in the things that they like. Then lastly is interaction of these factors. that the biological factors, the hormones, interact with the psychological factors, interact with the what? The society and the economic factors. All of this interplay together to make women to be more susceptible or to be at more risk of developing depression than what? Than men. Okay? So, so women, take note of that. Let not the economic pressure put you at a risk that now you have to maintain yourself to someone's standard, because this one can put you at a risk of getting depression. Say, I want to be like that celebrity of mine, I want to be like they are so and so, but you don't know where they are getting their money. Okay, social media, you want to post a nice picture. This week you are plaiting a different style of hair. The other week you are plaiting a different style of hair, different cloth. Those factors, what we are calling perfectionism and self-criticism, they can make you to start criticizing yourself. Maybe I don't look good. Maybe I have big bums. Okay, there are people who are looking for those ones, but now you want to be slender, that body, or fit, portable, someone who is portable. So that one can make you to, can put you at a high risk of what? Of developing depression. So thank you so much for watching me. If you are new to this channel, please subscribe because it motivates me to make more videos. Thank you so much. See you in my next video.